sun has set, the lights are on at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. Rearing for the start of match number 7, it is the Warriors versus the Sapphires. Both teams are rearing to get a win under their belt. Let's have a quick look at how the log is standing. We've got the Falcons still having 9 points, Tornadoes with 7 points, the Barmy Army 4, Team Spirit with 3 points, and we have both these teams that are competing today, the Warriors and the Sapphires, hoping for a win. And I'm joined by studio with a great commentator, Adam Collins. Good to have you join me today.
Lovely to be with you. Yes, a crucial game here. We're at the stage of the tournament, even though we're only in the 4th evening. If the Warriors lose here, they're pretty much gone. Yeah.
And like I mentioned in my intro, that these are two teams that really are desperate for a win. How do they go about doing that?
Well, I think with the Warriors, runs aren't an issue, are they? They made 177 for 2 on the first night, and they set 153 last night. They're just too expensive with the ball, to be blunt about it. They need to be more frugal, and they need to be more effective in terms of taking wickets. As for the Sapphires, they had a stinker in their first game against the Tornadoes with the bat, only making 102 for 8. They were only chasing 120, so it's the opposite problem. Their bowling's okay. Their batting, they've got a problem.
And talking about the Sapphires batting, how do they rectify that today?
Well, it'll be helped by the fact that they've got Grace Harris in there, who's the master blaster from Australia. She missed out on the first game. The complication in terms of the composition of the 11s is you can only have 6 players from full member nations, and owing to the fact that there are 2 Irish women in the Sapphires team, Grace Harris missed out in the first game. The Irish players were to be associates, now they're full member, so there's that shift in the last couple of years. But Harris I've seen plenty of in the Women's Big Bash League over the journey, and when she gets going, she's as destructive as anyone in world cricket.
Let's hope she'll be destructive today. Let's go straight to the coin toss. Mel Farrell is on standby.
Well, I can tell you it's a little bit more pleasant for our second toss of the day than it was earlier on. But I have the 2 captains down here for the Sapphires and the Warriors. Elise Villani stepping in for Sana Mir. And also we have Sindhu Srihasha as well. We have Tommy Wong here from Cricket Hong Kong and match referee Chandra Fritz. So handing the coin over. Tommy, it's all up to you. Give it a toss.
Heads.
Heads is the call from Elise Villani. It's tails. Going to have a bat first. Well, that's actually exciting. You're the first captain who's decided to bat first. Thank you so much for that, Sins. Why have you decided to do it?
We've been listening to all of you all. It's 7 games and 5 games have been won by batting first. So I guess, put the score on the board and put some pressure on them to try and get that.
It's good to know that you've been listening to our commentary up there as well. Have you made any changes to the side?
Yes, we have 2 changes. We have Shamilia and Jennifer missing out, and we have Bella Poon and Shaz coming in from Hong Kong.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Some more Hong Kong players in there. Now, you've got almost a brand new pitch to play with. What are you expecting from it? We did see some runs in the earlier game.
Yeah, I think anything over 150 or 160 should be good for us to go out there and defend that. And we do trust in our bowlers and our fielding to be able to contain that.
Excellent. Well, I hope to see some runs there. Thank you for going first, and good luck with the game.
Thank you.
Elise.
Mel.
Skipper.
Yep.
What's the reason for you taking on the captain's armband today?
Yeah, Sana is just feeling a little unwell, so she's back at the hotel, and I've taken the reins for tonight.
What would you have done if you'd won the toss?
Well, actually, I would have had a bat as well, Mel. So, you can love me just as much as you love Sindhu there.
Oh, yeah, of course I love you as much as Sindhu. We've discussed how you're my favourite player, I swear. Now, have you made any changes?
We have. So Grace comes in for Sana, and Emma is out, and, geez, this is a tough job, isn't it? And Shabani comes in.
Fantastic. So you passed the first test just as captain. How about this pitch? Did you see much of the game earlier? What were you expecting with a newer pitch?
Yeah, we saw a little bit of the game. I think it looks like a pretty good batting wicket. It doesn't look as slow as the other ones. It's obviously fresher, so they're going to make first use of it, and I think we'll just sort of sum up the batting conditions from their innings and just keep it nice and tight with the ball, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, all-rounder that you are. Joined us on commentary, captaining tonight. Good luck with the game.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
So there you go. The Warriors have won the toss and they have decided to bat.
All right, Adam, talk us through match number 7. We've got the Warriors coming out. How is that batting lineup looking like?
Well, it's stacked, isn't it, with Matthews and Redmayne, who both made half centuries on the opening night. Mignon du Preez, the South African champion, looking down the list. A couple of changes for both sides, as you'd expect, given that all players must play a minimum of 2 matches through the course of the group stage. So the Warriors, it's not the batting that's the issue, it's the bowling, as we mentioned before. And they have into the team tonight Shanzine Shazad from Hong Kong and Bella Poon, her Hong Kong teammate, getting their first opportunities.
And we're moving over to the Sapphires. Let's look at how that starting 11 is looking like.
Well, the first name on the team sheet there, Elise Villani, has the captain next to it. So she's leading in the absence of Sana Mir, who's ill, unable to play tonight. And as we mentioned before, I think Grace Harris at number 3 is a big structural shift for the Sapphires. They need quick runs up top, and inside the power play, she's destructive. So she's into the team, and likewise Shabani Busco, who's been the captain of the USA over the last couple of years. She's a great story.
So what are you expecting from these teams?
What I'm expecting, well, it's difficult to anticipate on the back of that. What I would say, I like the bold move of batting first after winning the toss. I know that no team's done that in the comp, but 4 of 6 games have been won by the team batting first. So it stands to reason to me that you get runs on the board and you pile on the pressure with the ball later on and defend those totals. We've seen 125 defended, 119 defended, 147 defended earlier today. So that feels right to me.
So you were happy with Srihasha deciding to want to go in and bat?
Well, I think that the rationale behind it is that we're seeing too often teams needing to chase at 8 or 9 and over in the death overs, batting second, with their associate players walking out against full member bowlers who know how to turn the screws. So from a structural perspective, getting runs on the board and having that advantage later in the evening, it all stands to reason.
And what are some of the players that you are looking forward to seeing and maybe being able to walk away with player of the match today?
I think the skipper, Elise Villani, she's been a journeywoman of sorts over the last couple of years in Australian cricket. She hasn't been playing for Australia, but on the domestic scene, there are a few batters who are more dynamic and more effective than her. She made in excess of 400 runs in the Women's Big Bash League last year. And she'd be seeing this as an opportunity as captain, as leader, to get herself into the competition. She failed first up in the Sapphires' first game. So keep an eye on Elise Villani. Added responsibility. I think it'll be added runs as well.
All right. Now let's go to Mignon du Preez. She's got a quick chat. Let's have a look at that.
Hi guys, my name is Mignon du Preez and I play for the Warriors. It's actually hard to put it into words. It's really special. I think what Fairbreak is doing, putting women's cricket on the map and giving opportunities to girls that might never get the opportunity to play in a stadium like this and in an event like this. I think for us, coming from some of the Associated Nations, we're really excited to see what the non-Associated Nations players has to offer. So I've heard some good stories about the talent out there. And our captain is Sindhu from the USA, so really excited to play alongside her. We've also got a really few exciting players, one from the UAE, Esha Oza. So I've heard some good things. She recently scored 150 in a T20 match, so that's definitely somebody to look out for. And then playing against, I think, a player like Marika Hill from Hong Kong, Anju from Bhutan. I've heard a lot of good things about her in the media. And then Salman from Vanuatu. So that's quite exciting. There's players from countries that I didn't actually know play cricket. So it's going to be pretty awesome to see all of these talent on display.
It's always good hearing from Mignon du Preez. Now let's go to a break, and when we come back, we're going straight into some cricket action.
Welcome back to the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. Game 7 of the inaugural SDG Fairbreak Invitational. The Warriors are up against the Sapphires. 4th day. The third of our double headers here in Dubai. It's at 8 o'clock local time start. And that's where the table stands at the moment, and this clash is between those two sides at 5 and 6. And the winner here will be sleeping soundly tonight. The Sapphires are obviously just lost their first game, and it was a bit of a thrashing. So they've got a little bit of work to do. They'll be out without their legendary captain Sana Mir for this. Elise Villani is filling in, but she's an outstanding international all-rounder. You just have the feeling the Sapphires might have a little bit more to play for in this evening's games. That's the lineups. Villani captain. The right-hand side there. Sindhu Srihasa from the USA is the wicket-keeper and captain, and she won the toss, and for the first time in this tournament elected to have first use of the wicket with the bat, that is. So sides batting first have a good record here at the moment, even though they've been sent in on a number of occasions. So lots of interesting things to happen this evening as the Warriors batsmen Carly Matthews, Georgia Redmayne, left and right combination. Redmayne, an outstanding WBBL at home in Australia this year. On the verge of international selection. Yet to play for Australia, but she'd be pushing hard to get into what is a very, very good team. Already had a good start to this tournament, 128 runs in her 2 innings. Warriors would love her to push that even further this evening. West Indian great Hayley Matthews, a reasonable start as well. 79 runs, great strike rate. So they've got some firepower up front. And the Sapphires have got some firepower with the ball. Captain Ishmael was the fastest bowler in the world, now he's amongst the fastest bowlers in the world, because a few have caught up with her, but she hasn't lost any pace, so he hasn't lost any competitive fire. Sorting out things with the new skipper. With me, Georgie Heath. What are you seeing out there, George?
Oh, hello to you, Jeff. They'll be pleased out there. The sun has gone down, it's cooled down, but I feel like there's a lot of heat coming from these batters as they prepare for our second game of today, both looking for their first win. It's going to be exciting. We've had a great game already here today, and Shabim Ismail, who almost got a hat-trick in their first game, has the ball, unsurprisingly. The South African superstar, a little pocket rocket of firepower, feisty player, is taking her mark and will take the first ball.
Yeah, and great to see her first slip in. Bit of pace, bit of outswing, right-hander, slip might come into it. First ball's on the money, but not too much movement there, and Lewis just has a look at that. Hats it back on the offside. Villani, the skippers are mid-off, and you often see that in T20 cricket. Skippers are either mid-on or mid-off. They control what happens inside the circle. They can talk to the bowler about every ball that's bowled.
Yeah, you were saying Villani's come in for Sana Mir today, so she's taking the reins. She has captained a fair bit in her time, so she was up with us in the comm box earlier, and she was excited to get out on the pitch. It's only had 1 game on it so far. There's a Villani there. She didn't score many in their first game, so we'll be looking to hopefully improve on that one in this, as her role as captain as well.
Scurry through for single. They'll have to hurry. Matthews got out of the blocks early and then just decided to take it easy. Almost paid a penalty here. Might get a little chat from the umpire for running down the middle of the pitch as well. Elise Villani with the the broad brim hat on. No sun here at the moment, but it's the ring of fire, the lighting system here at Dubai International Stadium. It's always handy to have a bit of shade on your eyes away from that lighting system. Terrific lights, but it's very different to many other cricket stadiums. Too good. Good bounce, too good.
But that's what Shabby does best, isn't it? She's just got that pace and she can just beat the batter there.
That's, Georgie, why you have a slip to a bowler of this quality.
Yeah, you love to see that slip in the first over of the game.
Ismail right on target, as you expect. The most experienced fast bowlers in world cricket. Part of South Africa's charge to the semi-finals in this year's 50 over World Cup. Another one outside the outside edge, but that bounces. Didn't quite carry through to the keeper. Get a bye for that? Yes, that's a bye. That's just two off a very good first Ismail over.
Yeah, so there's another look at those teams there. Obviously, Warriors elected to bat, and Shabby Ismail with a great start there. So just restricting them to 2 off the first over. They've got some great bowlers in this side. We've got Natasha Farrant, obviously from England. We've got Geeta Godali. She was fantastic in their first game, and it looks like Harris is going to take the ball at the other end.
The All-Australian Challenge. Sometimes that might get both of them a little bit more nervy. Not that Grace Harris generally shows too many nerves. She's a very chatty, vibrant person and player, and a very good player. Terrific all-rounder. Good numbers with the ball in T20 internationals. Those are under 6. Now, it's the right-hander, Haley Matthews, long on, deep mid-wicket are the 2 outriders.
Yes, Grace, yes, Grace.
It's a little turn with the new Satch. Beat the infield. Harry Moma there.
Yes, Grace.
You Kim Cotton there, umpiring. We've got an all-female umpires team here today, match referee. They're all the girls are in on the action, which you love to see. Need more girls in the umpiring.
Short, skiddy, Harris strikes. Big early wicket for the Sapphires. Clever bowling. And it was a little arm ball. You can see the seam's mostly upright for that one. Just rolls off the index finger. Matthews expecting a regulation. Osman has bounced, sit up and be pulled away. Harris wins that battle. The Warriors lose their first. They're 3 for 1. Number 3 for the Warriors this evening, Isha Oza, a local player, UAE international. Very promising one. Seen a bowl very well in this one already. Ball high off breaks, hits the ball hard. Dab away, that's clever. Nice touch.
Yeah, off the mark straight away there, Isha Oza. And this is what brought her to the crease. Hayley Matthews looking to go square, and it's just catapulted her stumps clatter there. Very excited, Grace Harris. Hayley Matthews not amused, but she has to trudge off.
Redmayne both off, good off both feet. Decides to play that off the back foot, take the single out the deep cover, into the second over. A good one for Harris, it's 5 for 1. That looks like a terrific place to watch the cricket. It's like sitting in front of the side screen. Bearing in mind, we're playing on pitch 9 here tonight on the extremity of the square. Ismail, that's over 2. Redmayne watchful, is happy to take a single. And here the umpire just informed the batter, it's right arm over. It's a traditional thing the umpires do. Probably not giving the batter enough credit for understanding what's going on in the game, but going down, I think. That was the umpire. Only 2 bowlers have taken more wickets for Shabdan Ismail in T20 internationals. So this, just definitely missing leg. But like all good fast bowlers, you've got to ask a question, Georgia. You don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, you don't ask, you don't get, and they'll be asking someone to get them the wicket of Georgia Redmayne, who has been in scintillating form so far in this tournament. We saw her in the first match with her 80, and then if we just look at this is Shabnam Ismail in their first game against Tornadoes, cleaning up Sophie Devine there. In their second game, yeah, she was on one there, and you can see it is very happy. With that celebration, we've seen so many of those.
Short, and it just gets caught propping forward a little, and that's something that players from the associate nations get used to. They wouldn't play back too much to the bowlers they face their competitions, but this is a genuine top of the tree fast bowler here. She won't be doing any favours, Rosa. Testing her out with short deliveries. Pulling up with good land. That's a lovely stroke. What a great comeback after you've got the short ball that's cannon into your body.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot there, and you see that finish with that Fairbreak logo on her bat as she clatters it through the covers. Really nice there from Isha Oza. See that lovely FB on there. That's what we love to see, and a shot like that is more than welcome in a tournament like this. Yeah, no matter what kind of fielder you are, even if you're Elise Villani, she hasn't made it to that one.
I think Isha might just save that one for her highlight reel. Don't get any better than that. And maybe the one of the world's legends of the game was just a little bit put off by that cover drive. She's gone short with this one and dragged it down the leg side. That's the drive. And now, no one in the world plays that better. That's sort of Laura Vulvart sort of stuff, isn't it? Big stride forward. Time it. You don't have to bash it. You just time it. Short again, she defends, thinks about a single, she's got some intent there. Well fielded, that's 3 done, 11 for 1.
Yeah, you see Isha Ozar up there as the 3rd highest strike rate in T20I since 2019. She's also got a top score of 158 not out just 2 months ago. And we're back again here with Grace Harris. So yeah, Isha Ozar, a great cricketer to come out of the UAE. Yeah, 158 not out against Bahrain just 2 months ago. So she's in great form coming into this tournament, and we've seen a little hint at that drive we saw a minute ago, and should be looking to continue that form as we work our way through this tournament.
Redmayne hacks one and hacks it well. I thought that was off the inside edge. I saw the shot. That's either a good bat or I got it wrong. Drifter. That now looks a bit like a bit of a shank, but I think it was a shank off the middle. Nice shot, but Polani does the fielding. Give her a tick for having the field right. Just went straight to her. It's a long way behind point there. She's got 2 fielders behind point, so she would know a lot about Redmayne's favourite strokes. That's more edge than anything. Moral victory for the bowler. Scoreboard victory for the batter.
Very happy Georgia Redmayne. She's in form and she knows it, and she's really enjoying herself out there today. I mean, it's off the edge, yes, but 4's a 4, and so she'll take those runs. As Warriors 19 for 1. Going along nicely here, these two. Georgia Redmayne anchoring the innings yet again. Elise Villani just couldn't quite get to that one.
Harris drags it forward this time. Cleans up herself, but there's a bit off on the edge of the circle. Had have beaten the bowler. Oza needs to get on her bike. Little slow out of the blocks, Isha. No problems though, 20 for 1. Hayley Matthews falling to spin. Clever piece of bowling from Grace Harris. Five and over, the Warriors started this innings. They won the toss and elected to bat for the first time in this competition. Team, the tosses will have your first use, and now Kim Garth. The best all-rounders in the modern game. gets hold of the Satch. Georgia Redmayne charges the first delivery.
We see head coach Julia Price there and assistant coach on the left, Sean Kelly, in charge of this team. A little bit of thinking to do for this Warriors side, yet to get a win on the board from their 2 games so far.
Slip in for Garth. Is that a deliberate attempt at a run out?
I think if you'd asked her and it had worked as a run out, she would have said yes. But I think that's just great game awareness, you know. Even in her follow through, she's there, she's ready, and that's what these top players are doing. Yeah, she's always got eyes on there. It's really good hands from her to stop the pace on that.
Oh, she drives, square drives. That's her second best shot, because the first one was absolutely the top shelf. This is just a little further down the shelf, but I think it's off the top as well. Better not give her any more width. So she goes a little shorter, good response. Once again, as any good bowler, you've got to ask, you never know.
Yeah, it's good recovery here from Kim Garth. Just wafting at that one a bit. Esha Ozar picked up by the Dutch wicket keeper. Yeah, she had a bit of a poor game at times in the first match, so looking to recover on that one with her wicket keeping today.
Gee, she times the ball well. This is the ball that Garth has decided to bang into the pitch after she was driven. A nice response from the bowler, and Price, she went full again after that. Plenty of bounce in this Toby Lumsden special. Ball on the leg, and the off. One might be middle and leg. It isn't. And it's crashed to a brilliant piece of fielding. Who's in there? Gadita Gadali. Using a height. When you dive, you've got to use your height. Another terrific shot. 5 gone. The Warriors are 27 for 1.
Good partnership building here. Esha Ozar striking the ball nicely through point. He put on 24 from 20 balls. Adam Collins, Isabel Duncan picking up commentary for the next 5 overs. Tash Farrant getting her first chance. She took the new ball. First game for the Sapphires, the England international. Who had a wonderful domestic year in 2021. Southeast Stars, the Oval Invincibles in the 100, took more wickets than any other bowler. Got a central contract back by the end of 2021. Didn't have a good day of it. Sapphires opener though. Keen to bounce back, I'm sure.
She was picked for that squad in the World Cup as well for England, but didn't manage a game.
Redmayne immediately looking to use her feet. I think that's when you think about the journey that women's cricket's been on, and you know that as well as anybody, having written about it extensively, it's that there are now contracts at the level below, so that if you lose your England deal, as Farrant did in 2018, she had something to fall back to within a couple of years. And it's that next level where she's forced her way back into England calculations. Had it been a generation or so ago, she would have been lost to the game.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of competitions now. The Rachel Brent Trophy and the Charlotte Edwards Cup, as well as the 100, of course.
Yep.
That's 3 domestic tournaments now in England, keeping the game alive for women's cricket. And just reducing that gulf between international cricket and domestic cricket.
Runs. Gets it fine, Redmayne. Gets herself a boundary. Third time she's found the rope in his innings. Has helped it on its way. Farrant off the hip. Easy pickings.
She's in form as well, of course, isn't she? With runs in this tournament, she gets a little something on it. Just helps it on its way.
Yeah, Redmayne 80 not out in the first game. 48 in the second. Already up to 17 here. So near enough to the most runs in the comp, along with Chamari Adapadu.
There she is, deep in her crease.
Better from Farrant.
Trying to upset the line there, or the length of the bowler, Redmayne, just going deeper into her crease. That happens a lot in T20 cricket.
Looking forward to Isha Oza getting going here.
Yeah, she's rated by Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, has the second highest score in women's T20 internationals, an unbeaten 158 against Bahrain a couple of months ago. Pace off from Farrant, good change up. Yeah, grew up in India, played for the Mumbai under-23s. Mostly brought up in Dubai, came here as a baby, thus playing for the UAE. Through the hands of Grace Harris. Otherwise, it might have been game on, non-striker's end. Gabby Lewis doing the tidying up.
Well, there's been chat about the pitch, hasn't there? It's a fresh pitch they're playing on today. Well, it's the second time it's been played on. Let's move right to the extremities of the left-hand side of the square. I'm expecting runs out of it and a bit of bounce. I think there's something in it for the spinners as well. There it is. You can see it's nice and dry at the end. That's where the bowlers have followed through.
Yeah, all used pitches at this stage of the season here in Dubai. Redmayne retains the strike. She's on 19. Power play is complete. The Warriors 34 for 1. So Redmayne's got a start. Here with Isha Oza, they put on 31 from 26. A modest power play, losing Hayley Matthews to Grace Harris, the 1 wicket so far.
Yeah, it's incredible that Redmayne hasn't had international debut yet. Hasn't had the call, but it's really because that Australian team is so tight and so powerful, very difficult to break into it.
Power play over.
We've got Carrie Chang of Hong Kong.
Yeah, bowled well in the first game. Took 1 for 22 from 4 with her left arm spin. 25 years of age, back into the team. She's seen as Hong Kong's best all-round player. It's a nice start. Assertive running from Redmayne, taking on Harris. Mates from the Queensland system. They share a laugh.
Yeah, she's currently the Hong Kong captain, Carrie Chang. And she's been faithful to the Fairbreak Invitational through the years.
Did well last week against the UAE, made runs, put wickets. Looks like she's ready to make that step up. Gets plenty of work on the ball, especially around the wicket with that angle to the right-handers. Missing out on a full toss there. Harris in the game at cover. Picked her out 3 times in the last 5 balls. Missed out there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of spin in this competition. Great, it's in quite a lot of left arm as well. Left arm wrist spin, it's unusual.
Yep, Miyagi, player of the match in the previous game of the doubleheader tonight with her 4 for 18. Coming on and doing the business against the Tornadoes to get the spirit on the board. Up and over, all the way. Well, with authority, Isha Oza didn't quite get to the pitch, but nice, strong, long arms. Middle of the bat. Moves to 18 in the process. Love that. Fluent.
Very positive foot movement, just to get under it. There she goes, with a full follow through.
Yeah, we're saying 2 players here in Kerry Chan and Isha Oza who are playing associate cricket, but speaking to smart judges who watch a lot of them, think they can make the step up and play in domestic tournaments like the Big Bash and the 100. And with the arm there, well negotiated. Shanks this for a single to finish. Isha Oza retains the strike. 7 overs gone, 42 for 1. Tash Farrett to start the fresh over. We're going to go pitch side though to Mel Farrell. Has with her Argentinian all-rounder Mariana Martinez.
Yes, that's right. I'm absolutely loving talking to the players who have come here from all parts of the world. Mariana Martinez, representing Argentina. How on earth do you end up playing cricket when you grow up in Argentina?
It is kind of crazy. Well, my father played plenty of years in Argentina, and a friend of my father called Mauricio, like called me and said, "Do you want to maybe try cricket one day?" And he said, I said, okay. I didn't like it at first, but then I came again, and it was really great. I got it at first, like, and I fell in love with cricket in Argentina.
It's so great to hear. And I mean, you're not full-time professional. Tell us a bit about your life and how cricket fits in with that.
Well, it's really hard in Argentina. It's not professional at all, but we're trying hard to practice, like maybe the most days that we can in a week with the national team. And now that we have a women's league again, it's been 2 years that we have a women's league, so we're kind of trying hard to keep women's cricket growing in Argentina. So it is good to have it in Argentina.
And it is a growing, because most people would associate football with Argentina as a sport. Is there a growing awareness of cricket?
Yeah, in that way, yeah. We all, in Argentina, we are so fan of Messi, and football in Argentina is really crazy. But we're trying to put cricket in that way, in that vibe, like being fan of cricket.
Oh, I've just seen a drop catch there, so like it's still got those 2 batters out there, and so you've still got a smile on your face. Coming here to this tournament, Can you give us an idea of what it's been like for you to meet some of these players that you've probably only seen on TV?
No, yeah, I'm pretty fan of cricket, so it's like being here and seeing in person. I'm like, are you Mignon Dupree? Like, so the first time that I came here was like, it was in an elevator. I was saying to Grace Harris in front of me, and I say, "Are you Grace Harris?" She said, "Yeah." "Oh well, hi." And we needed to have breakfast, and she invited me to have breakfast with her, and I was like, "This is real. Like, I need to have a conversation with you."
That's wonderful, and not only having breakfast with them, playing with them.
Yeah.
So, what's the feeling been like in the team, and have you been learning a lot?
Yeah, I've been learning a lot from figures, like and even like players that from Namibia. Like here, I asked me Isha Khan, like giving me a masterclass of her feeling because it's incredible. Like I'm really fan of it because sometimes you don't have to be a figure to be a great player. You have to learn from all kind of countries. So it's really great to meet all of them.
Oh, well, that's so great to hear. It's wonderful to hear from you. Brilliant to see you out here. Substitute tonight. We have seen you play.
Yeah.
We look forward to watching you play for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Have
a nice night.
Lovely to hear from Mariana Martinez. Argentina, one of 36 countries represented in this Fairbreak Invitational. And a good backstory to how she came into cricket. Recruited into the Fairbreak by Sean Kelly, who's the assistant coach of this Warriors team. Ooh, chipped in the air and gone! Well, the ball's been following Grace Harris, and it does so again, caught at cover. Soft dismissal for Oza. Barrett gets a wicket, the second for the Sapphires at an important time, just when that partnership was looking dangerous, with 45 from 38. Tash Farrett pace off the ball, wins the false stroke, gets herself a wicket.
Just when she's looking comfortable as well, Oza, and galloping along. Broken that partnership up. Well, it's 45 between those two, Oza and Redmayne. The score now, 48 for 2.
The new batter, South African champion, Mignon Dupree, made 12 not out against the Falcons and missed out against the Tornadoes. Part of that devastating collapse that saw them cede that game late last night. They need her here alongside Redmayne. And the reason she's there is the dismissal of Isha Oza. We'll get another look at that after Shabnim Ismail sends down her first ball. She's back into the attack. Ismail bowled 2 overs off the top, and they sense they've got an opportunity here, going to their spearhead, their attack leader, the quickest bowler in the competition. They get a third, it's game on.
Yeah, bowling up to 80 miles per hour, and in new money that's about 128 kilometres per hour. She's a pocket rocket out there, and skiddy Ismail puts the heebie-jeebies up the batters.
So here's the replay of that wicket. Ended up with Grace Harris, but yeah, pace off from Farrett. She's got a deep bag of tricks. The back of the hand slower ball, fingers down both sides of the seam. Why she's such a handful. I enjoyed that. Really pleased to see Grace Harris playing in this competition. Already got a wicket, got a catch. She'll be batting at number 3 later. One of the most likeable characters on the circuit. She was with the Australian team that won the World Cup in March this year. Didn't play, but seen as a great tourist, as they say.
Into bouncer there, just bending her back. Ismail firing in, dodged out of the way nicely. Redmayne.
Probably the first genuine bumper we've seen in the competition as well. Not many bowlers in the women's game can can do what Ismail does from that trajectory. She can send it down halfway and still get up to the head with a bit of venom.
Perhaps she feels more confident on a fresh pitch as well. It's a little bit harder. Ball is certainly hard at this stage in the game.
2 out for the short ball. Carves an easy single. Hearing from Mariana Martinez previous over, mentioned that she's one of 36 countries represented here, Argentine.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
So Shabnam Ismail, you can see here how effective she's been in terms of wickets per game, ahead of Perry and Anisa Mohammed, 1 and 2 for most wickets taken in this form of the game at international level. Just 98 matches. And you consider the esteem that Perry's held in. Quite some going. Quick single. Barron. Out if she hit. Comfortably out if she hit. That's what Ismail's extra pace prompts. It often can be the catalyst for mistakes. Yeah, barely in the frame. That's the drill they practice over and over, isn't it, Izzy?
Absolutely. 9 times out of 10, they hit.
Should have hit. Just back to Martinez before we move away from her story. Yeah, she's also a football goalkeeper. And so I'm looking forward to seeing her throw herself around in the field when she plays later in the tournament. And Sian Kelly, who, as I mentioned, is the assistant coach of this team, was coaching the Argentinians on her gap year from university at Oxford. And said, you should be an international cricketer. She's overseen a number of teams in that part of the world. She is.
Good wicket-to-wicket bowling there from Ismail.
End of 9 overs, 51 for 2. Yes, there she is in the back row there. She's made a big contribution in Argentina and Mexico and other parts of South America, South and Central America. Redmayne and Dupria, 2 of the senior players in this Warriors team. In Redmayne's case, she's been in form at the top of the list for the Warriors. They've made runs in both of their games, 177 for 2 in their first outing. 152 yesterday. With the ball where they've struggled.
Yeah, and Priya out there now with a wealth of experience. To add things out there. She's retired from ODIs and Test matches after the World Cup this year.
I think the T20 World Cup, as it's being hosted in South Africa early next year, that might be what she's holding on for. And understandably so. She's had a really good run of it in T20 cricket. Was exceptional in the Big Bash last year. As was Kim Garth, ball in hand. On her way to qualifying for Australia, but still has the Irish flag on her back at the moment.
Trying to get that angle, isn't she, with her coming around the wicket into the left-hander.
Not far away there. And Garth's been a regular tourist to Australia. A lot of these players have on that WBBL circuit. Something of an all-stars competition in the first 2 or 3 years, where it was the big month on the calendar for women around the world who were able to come over to Australia and play against the best and supplement their income from their national contracts. It worked really well. Still does.
And she's been a champion twice, hasn't she, with the Sixers?
Yep.
Great success out there.
Belay here, seeing Mignon du Preez charged with the responsibility of running out and grabbing, what have we got there? Is it a cloth from the trousers of Vasca? The US player, a chance tonight. Ooh, edge there. In and out of Delete's gloves. I think it might have been. Up to the stumps. Garth bowls at decent pace. Yep. Straight in, straight out.
Hard work paying off there. Spent time with Australian paceman Clint Mackay working on her bowling.
Yeah, in club cricket in Melbourne a couple of years ago, she was league best and fairest, won the Una Paisley medal playing for Dandenong, where I'm from, where I was born. So she's, and that's a pretty tough club competition in Melbourne grade cricket, where she's came over there and done so well that Victoria offered her a contract. Australia have made it clear they're interested in what might be possible when she does qualify. Tough for Ireland. Yeah, tough for Ireland losing her. She was the youngest player and long history with the family of Irish cricket, but you can understand why she made the call to go. Slower ball. Past the blade of Redmayne. Good cricket. And nice take from the lead.
Just out the back of the hand there. Slows it up.
Nice camera work too. Getting it right out the hand.
Turning the screws a little bit here. Only 2 off this over. You're feeling the pressure a bit, these batters.
Yeah, the run rate's been at about 5 or 6 throughout the innings, hasn't it? They haven't had a big over. Just 6 fours and 1 6. 32 dot balls.
If you want to compare to the previous match, there was a power play score of 47. That was the highest today.
It's tweaking the field for the last spell. Fine leg inside the circle. Fielder's out. Deep point, long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square. Yorker to finish. Good over from Kim Garth. Just 3 runs coming from it. We're at the halfway mark and the drinks break. Sapphires going well. They've kept the Warriors to 54 for 2.
Welcome back. Let's see if we can have a chance to go through the highlights of this innings. We might wait a moment here. Comes through. There's the wicket. That's right at the start. Move it across to the action. And it's out to cover, and it's just going to be 1 run. Great start. Changing commentary, I'm Mark Farmer. I'm here with Mel Farrell. You've just run up from the dugout interview. Thanks for running up. I know it's not easy.
Funnily enough, I took the lift. Yeah, it was great. Grace Harris into the attack, bowling a third over.
Shot. Just Dupree will be looking. She's got quite a bit of time here to establish herself. She's yet to put a big marker on this tournament, so I know she'll be very keen to get comfortable with the wicket and look to build that partnership. Delivery just sliding on with the arm.
Yeah, Grace Harris, fantastic player, huge power hitter, handy with the ball, and one of the great entertainers as well. If you've ever heard her when she's been on the mic, she is a character. She's also, having just been down there speaking to Mariana Martinez, I love the fact she was so overwhelmed and starstruck when she had breakfast with Grace Harris.
Yeah, there's some amazing stories coming out of this competition, isn't there, with the interaction between all these players from all around the world coming together, and I think everybody's just loving the opportunity to meet new people and play games of cricket with them. Shuffles across the crease and halfway up the wicket before she turns around and realises that there's no run there. That's the end of the 11th over, 57 for 2. As we look through the bowlers used, just the 5 bowlers used, we've got Carrie Chan from Hong Kong coming in to bowl his second over. Went for 8, her first. Full toss from Redmayne and swept down behind square, and it's just going to be the 1 run. Redmayne in the runs in this tournament. She's been going great. 80 against the Falcons, 48 against the Tornadoes. Striking over 100 in both innings. A great run of form.
She has been for quite a while. Outstanding player.
Stop. Almost going through there, the field.
Shadali doing well. Yeah, Georgia Redmayne, you keep going back to that. It's incredible to think that she has not yet been capped by Australia.
The pitch against the full toss and not a great contact on it. Stretch hand. Carrie Chan will be looking to try and get that pace right. See if she can get it into the wicket. There's a little bit of turn on offer for the bowlers. As she just muscles that over extra cover. A lovely stroke, and that's 4 and just showing her quality. She goes to 8 off 10 and really is going to be trying to establish herself.
Just gave herself room, backed away. She had that lined up, knew exactly where she was hitting it as well. Inside out, 1 bounce, beautifully played.
Again, hit. They've got their angles right here with deep cover. Quite a long way in front of square, understanding that the bowling's a little bit slower. Wicket's quite slow, so that ball's just going to go in front of square a little bit more.
She backed away again, being to play a similar shot, but they had the field right that time.
It's ball over pitch, so it's just going to be the 1. 8 off the over, and that takes the score to 66 for 2 after 12. And the Fairbreak Effect NFT project is officially launched, breaking new ground in digital membership and collectibles. Owners of the NFTs gain a membership that will have exclusive access to the players, competitions, giveaways and future events. Head to fairbreakeffect.com or scan the QR code to stay up to date. There's a big appeal, sounding like there was some bat. They scurry through for single.
Oh, it was a good ball by Garth, who you can see how impressed she is with that decision, and she thought she was on the money. Ball came back in. Well, just carried on actually, so it might have been maybe going down leg if there wasn't any bat in there. A great expressive face of Kim Garth.
Just struck back. It's going to be interesting. You can see those projected scores currently going along at around 5.5, and that current rate going to get them to 108, and that's just simply not going to be enough. So at a bare minimum, they're going to have to be targeting 8 and over. Ideally 10 to get one to 143, but it's going to be tough in these conditions. A shot and pushing hard between the wickets. I've said it before, but 55-metre boundaries around here. It's very difficult to get a 2 unless you find a gap deep in the field and you run round.
And we've just sort of seen at times too the teams that have been doing well, when they haven't been coming prepared to drop and run, go really hard, keep the dot balls to a minimum. Well, they thought about 2 on that occasion. Mignon du Preez was pretty keen, I think, but Georgia Redmayne was no.
Yeah, you touched on something really important there, Mel. Rotating the strike. Sindhu Srihasha just felt like there wasn't much going on the other night, but actually she was rotating the strike and started building a really good innings. Great strike rate. Lifting the stumps over, it's a lovely shot, and it's going to race away for 4. Woo.
Yeah, it takes some confidence to play that shot, doesn't it? She went a bit early, she went further, she knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that there was no fielder there, and there is one fielder going into short fine now. But very clever batting by Mignon du Preez.
Dhaka Langton just pulled away. It's just going to be the 1 run. Misspoken. Closes out the 13th over. Warriors 74 for 2. Great to have so many broadcasters on board with the SDG Fairbreak Invitational sent all around the world. India, Eurosport, Pakistan, PTV Sports. Great to have it in the Caribbean, New Zealand Sky Sport, all through Africa with Supersport. Everybody's got an opportunity to tune in.
Yeah, hello and welcome to everyone around the world who are watching. I know, talking to some of the associate players, very excited to think that people back home might be watching, supporting them. It means an awful lot to them.
Spoke to Winnie this morning from Malaysia, and she's saying she knows so many people that are staying up really late at night, past midnight, to watch the games. It's great to have that support. Just hits that strong down the ground. You get the sense that she's just trying to give herself a little bit of time, just going along at a runner ball, establishing this partnership before they get into that last 5 overs to really try and explode.
Jitika Kadali back in, so that's a big hello to everyone watching on Willow Sports in the US. great supporters of cricket. That's where everyone goes to watch.
Pulled away again, unable to get a really strong connection. That's just the one run. I think there's going to begin being a little bit of a conversation, thinking to a few overs time between these two batters about who's going to take charge of this innings, who's going to take the risk, hit some boundaries. And we see it there, Kanon doing the same thing, dashes across her crease, uses the pace of the ball, and I think that's Tash Farrant down there, not able to drag it in despite the dive. Great skill, and I think Manon is beginning to send a bit of a message about her intent.
I mean, this is brilliant. We just saw her do it not so long ago. She just picks out the field. She knows exactly where she's going to hit it. She's brave enough to play the shot with the confidence of all her many years experience, but very clever batting, picking out the gaps.
And wonderful cricket, boundary and a single. Coaches will be loving that around the world. Have a look at this, she ducks across the crease. Great adjustment and manages to really whip it round the corner. Fantastic skill, and I think that's a little challenge for the captains. Think about how they're going to approach this.
Well, they'd moved a fielder in there to account for it in the previous over.
And Redmayne looking to get in on the action too. I'll tell you what, it's a hive of activity down in the middle of the field with the left-hand, right-hand combination. There are players running across the field every ball. It's going to be pretty exhausting. I know it's cooled down a lot, but it's still very hot out there. I'm sure they'll be hoping to take the wicket and hopefully two right-handers on strike.
Well, she moved across to play that same shot again, Mignon du Preez. But this time Kadali, I think, might have been expecting it. That is the end of the 14th over. Warriors 83 for 2.
And we look at the Manhattans. There's a quiet patch 9, 10, 11, but 12, 13, 14, complete change of tempo, going over 8 and over, and get the sense that the Warriors are really trying to target a score that they want to make. Speaking of targeting, you see current run rate up to 118. It's not going to be enough. 7 and over. We've seen scores in the 120s defended. Don't think that will be enough. I think they've got to be targeting at least 9 and over from here.
Testing the arm of Kadali, I think that was no. It was. I was right. I'm just not so sure, because we've seen such different, from game to game, such different levels of scores and what's been defendable, what's been chased down. It's really hard to detect the pattern.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, Mel. I mean, like we spoke about at the start of this tournament, I think everybody was coming in fairly blind, with players from all around the world coming together. Very little women's cricket at this ground previously, so everybody's just trying to establish an understanding. On comes down this time, she's gone offside. Oh, what a glorious stroke, and it's 4. She's hit it down the opposite end of the ground with the scoops, and now she's gone extra cover. Well, asking questions to the skipper. Let's have another look. She started outside leg, giving herself room. Lovely stroke. She's not got all of it either, so she makes full contact. That is going to be absolutely flying. They're bringing out the full repertoire here, Mel.
Well, she is an inventive player. She's very experienced. She's prepared to go behind, in front, And on this occasion, well, that was the inside out over the top. Grace Harris came back.
Yeah, you get the sense that Manon du Preez said, I've been out here long enough. I know what's going on and I know what I want to achieve. And she's going at it. She's not going to wait for Harris to finish her over. She's going for it. Pulled away. That's 4 more. Momentum shift in this game. It's 15 overs gone and we'll change over the commentary so Adam can bring in and do the fun stuff. The score 93 for 2 after 15.
Grace Harris's last over. Adam Collins, Georgie Heath taking you through to the halfway mark of this game. Night 4 of the Fairbreak Invitational here in Dubai. Dhaka Kadali into her second over. She was impressive. Sapphire's first game, taking 2 for 20. Swing and a miss from Redmayne. Redmayne's strike rate down a bit tonight, down at 87, just 3 boundaries across 38 deliveries. Looking to put the foot down, but hasn't had quite the fluency she did on opening night and making an unbeaten 80, batting through the innings. Yes! And bowled, playing it onto her stumps. Kadali gets in the book. The American knocks over the Australian. They needed that. The previous over, they took to Grace Harris. And starting the death overs, backing Kadali and delivering for her captain.
Yeah, you just see that. She was just going for that scoop there, Georgia Redmayne. She's played it onto her own stumps and she'll be so disappointed with that. But Kadali is over the moon with that one. And the Sapphires, they're going along nicely here. They've got the Warriors 93 for 3.
The Namibian vice-captain in with 4.5 overs to go. Off the mark first ball. Look for 2 there. With a single. 7 not out against the Tornadoes yesterday. Watching the wicket back here. We saw Redmayne try and play the shot a couple of times. Never really came off. As it was for Heather Knight yesterday. Played the ball back onto her stumps. And great response from the 17-year-old Kadali. A real impression here at the Fairbreak. Ball and straight here again. Used to live over in San Francisco. Her family have up sticks and moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, to help her advance her cricketing career. They realised that the Asian diaspora in America is more congregated on the eastern seaboard. Thus, there's more cricket there, and thus the opportunities should be greater for her as she makes her progress in the senior team. Oh, another one too! Around du Preez's legs. Kadali goes bang, bang. The 2 set players are gone. This is quite the intervention from the teenage American. In very similar fashion. Across her stumps, but didn't make contact. Too quick, too good. Good cricketer.
Yeah, she saw a move there, didn't she? She saw du Preez take that step across and she just round the back of her legs. Yeah, the set batters are gone. The Warriors are 94 for 4.
So Farrant with over 17 on the back of 2 wickets in the space of 3 balls. Gadika Kadali having dismissed Georgia Redmayne earlier in the over. Full and straight and crashing into middle and leg. That looks good. And it does change the game. We've spoken, Georgie, throughout the tournament that a couple of quick wickets and suddenly you go from having 2 full member nation players. And I don't want to overplay this point, but you can't avoid it. Mignon Dupree, Georgia Redmayne, are replaced now by Sriharsha, the captain, and Yasmin, who is the Namibian vice-captain. They're not playing at the same standard as often as the players that came before them, up against an England bowler in Tash Farrant.
They're more than up to the challenge, these two. Yeah, they don't get to play against them so often. Doesn't make them any less talented, as we have seen. Yeah, that was just a phenomenal couple of balls there from the youngster. We can see on our screen she'll be very pleased with herself there. Only 17, very tall bowler. So she gets that height and she just followed those two. Was more than up to the challenge.
Still 2 overs to bowl as well. Yeah, you're right, it's that height you referred to before. The overthrow here, no, they'll be without. Just a bit quicker than she looks in her action. I think that's because of the height. Played in that Fairbreak game at Bowral in February 2020, just before the pandemic. At least Fulani in the right changes so far. Run rate under 6. Just 2 runs from this over so far as well. Yasmin Khan, born in South Africa, to Namibia as a young girl and plays for the national team alongside her twin sister Rihanna. Oh, ever so close to having that get over her blade, but nicely deflected away. Gets a boundary. Ends the over in better fashion. The Warriors bring up their 100. 17 overs gone, 100 for 4. Watching this back, we saw Redmayne and Dupree trying to play similar shots to that to Gadali, but Yasmin got down nice and low and watched it all the way onto the bat, which is crucial when trying to get funky in the crease. They have made a change. Kodali is off, but could still yet bowl overs 18 and 20. Kim Garth back into the attack to bowl her 4th. Going at just 5.7 runs an over so far. Three out on the leg side. Deep backward square, deep mid wicket, long on. Deep third. Opportunity, non-striker's end. Not on target. Might have been back. Captain Sriharsha.
Yeah, so brought Kim Garth onto bowl here. And a great thing for Elise Villani, she's still got, she's still got one from Shabnam Ismail up her sleeve. She's got Kadali on a roll. Yeah, so they've still got Tash Farrant's got another one. Carrie Chan. So she's got options, which is really great for her at this situation.
Pace off again from Garth. Clever bowler. Yet to take a wicket in a competition, but going at less than a run a ball across the 2 games she's bowled in. So close. Fingers down the seam. Just died on the way through. An inch away from the leg stump. Through the gloves of Dalid. Watching it back, that's the back of the hand. Lots of work on it. Really dipped on Sriharsha.
Yeah, so you've got the wicketkeeper standing up there, so she hasn't got that reaction time. So perhaps if she'd been stepped back from the wicket, she would have been able to get to that one. But she's had a much better game today, Delita, than she did in the first.
Good contact. Yasmin picks it up and pops it over the deep backward square rope. Again, just as it was in the previous over when she went down to play that lap sweep, moving across the stumps, picking up the length early and watching it all the way onto the bat. Low centre of gravity, giving herself every chance to succeed, and she did. Just the second 6 of the innings to go with 12 fours. They're still in the hunt for 130 odd or thereabouts. Especially if Yasmin keeps striking it like that. Should be 2. Bit of indecision. They're happy with 1.
It's not doing any favours for Garth's economy rate this over.
12 off it so far, albeit 4 of them buys. So yeah, 8 from bowling. Last ball of her spell. For the captain. Steered away to deep third. She'll retain the strike. 2 overs to go. The Warriors 113 for 4. So as you point out, Georgie, good options there for Elise Villani. She can go to Ismail for the last over or Farron. Both accomplished international bowlers. Just looking beneath us here. Which way will she go? She'll go with the left arm of Farron. So Ismail won't bowl their complement despite conceding just 10 runs in 3 overs off the top. Farron with 1 for 19 from her 3. Long on back. So mapping out the fields, you've got Elise Villani inside the circle at mid-off. That angle, left arm around. They want either of these right-handers to try and open up the offside and try and clear mid-off and shank one straight in the air to cover. That's the plan. Or they go that way instead, but it's taken on the rope. The right idea from Yasmin. Popped it straight into the hands of the fielder, sweeping on the boundary. Barrett gets her second wicket. Gabby Lewis from Ireland, safe pair of hands. Yasmin's cameo comes to an end, but you see what she was trying to do, and it's the right thing to do deep into the innings. The Warriors lose their 5th wicket with the score on 114. Yasmin Khan, 13 from 10. Catherine Bryce, a new batter coming in at number 7. So 9 balls left in the innings. And a decision to make for Villani. Will she go with Kodali for the final over or Ismail? More eventful. Last 5 overs, 3 for 35 coming from it. Warriors brain trust. Oh, again across the stumps. We get a boundary. Yep. Sriharsha backing herself there. A little under edge. It's her first boundary. Frustration for Farron. Had it right on the money, little under edge. Just in front far away from that leg stump. That's fantastic batting. Trihasha, not much of a gap to work with there, threading the needle through the covers. No sweeper in that direction. 11 runs and the wicket coming from the over. 1, 2, 4 for 5 the score.
Yeah, so it's showing some intent here, the Warriors captain. She's not traditionally known for her attacking style, but it is something she's developing into throughout this tournament. She said yesterday in the press conference that she's been learning from those players around her, the likes of Redmayne, Matthews, Dupree, and she's really bringing that into her game, the American.
Yeah, Barrett not happy there, not far away from the fielder at cover. Ishmael to Bryce to start over 20. Ishmael bowled 2 frugal overs off the top. They brought her back when they picked up 2 quick wickets either side of the power play ending. Wanted to try and break up that Dupree-Redmayne partnership straight away. It didn't work. So hard to get away. That trajectory. The definition of skiddy, Ishmael. Slower ball. Trihasha, who made 35 from 35 yesterday, like the anchor roll. Where will she look to go? 2 out on the offside. Mid on, mid off, both inside the circle. Big off cutter there. Ishmael won't give her a chance to swing in this direction. Same field for Bryce, so deep backward square, fine leg, deep third, deep cover point. So room over mid wicket. She'll take it on. Tries to. Chance for the run out. No direct hit. How many times have we said that in this innings? Grace Harris, she's touched the ball plenty of times. Bowled 4 overs, picked up Hayley Matthews, couple of catches. Had the chance to add a run out there. Had time to stop and prop and just missed. Enjoying herself. Misfield. Well recovered by Kerry Chan. So when we came on to commentary, Georgie, we thought about 130. But too short of that with the ball to go.
Yeah, I think they'll be pleased with that, actually, the Warriors. They'll feel that they can defend that one. Obviously, we're on a different pitch today to what they played on the other day, but we've seen what this pitch can do today. So, yeah, I reckon they could back themselves. They've got some classy bowlers in their lineup.
And it will be a target of 130. So the 20 overs done. The Warriors added 3 for 36 in the final stretch of 5. Trihasha, the captain, unbeaten on 15 from 10 balls with a couple of boundaries, and Bryce finishes up with a single, 4 from 5 balls. Ishmael, economical as always, none for 15, bowling out her complement of 4 overs. So looking through the Warriors card, Matthews went early, and Redmayne combined initially with Isha Rosa and then Mignon Dupree through the middle overs. But when Dupree and Redmayne fell in the space of 3 balls from the teenager Kadali, they weren't able to put the foot down the way they would have planned, setting only 130. Harris good off the top with Ishmael. Tash Farrant, couple of wickets, and Kadali continues to reinforce that this teenager 30, near enough to what they needed in the first game when they fell way short to 6.5 runs and over. Very chaseable, but it's a strong Warriors bowling lineup they'll be up against. Off to a break, and when we return, the chase.
Welcome back to the SDG Fairbreak Invitational. Halfway through the Warriors Sapphires games. We've seen the completion of the Warriors innings. Been 29-5 from them. Pretty difficult to determine what's a winning score. 119's been defended, 177's been chased down. With me, Isabel Duncan. Top score 33 there is.
Yeah, well, 147 was defended earlier today, wasn't it, on this new pitch? And Redmayne certainly got going earlier on and combined well with Oza and then later to Priya. But a little bit of a collapse at the end. But I think that's defendable on this pitch, having seen what we saw earlier.
Let's have a look at the first innings highlights. Grace Harris struck in her very first over. Big wicket, terrific breakthrough. Isha Oza then played some gorgeous shots. Georgia Redmayne can't find a way to fail. Wasn't the most fluid innings. We'll put that down to some good bowling. Some of the driving from Oza was terrific, and that was just an exceptional 6 over extra cover. Just as she was getting into full gallop, chipped one to Grace Harris. Then on to Priya. Looked pretty good, Nick. The former South African captain, and a member of their World Cup side months ago in New Zealand, was in good form bat. So a little comeback through the middle overs, and then Yadika Kadali was up to the challenge. He had both batters moving around their crease, found the stumps on both occasions. The tall American, and nothing really went Kim Garth's way, though that another phenomenal stroke from Yasmin Khan. Quite clear boundary with that one. The stand-in skipper looked pretty happy about that, at least Villani. And the batters used the pace well, especially the associate players aren't used to playing the big shots. Thought their batting tactics were really good towards the end against Shabnam Mismail, Kim Garth. They had competitive score without being an outstanding score.
Yeah, if we look at the power play for the Warriors, they were 34 for 1 at 6 overs, and of course we're all focused on those 10 overs for the bonus point. They were 54 for 2, the Warriors, at that point. So we have an all-female match official team today, don't we, of 5 women out there. Bit of girl power.
When you say 5, we've got match referee, 2 in the middle, and we have a 3rd, and we have a 4th umpire. That might be 6.
I think we'll get to 5 somehow.
No, 4, that's 8. See, 6 balls in an over, and I never could get that right when I was bowling. I relied on the umpires. It's the old classic story. You bowl a couple, you say, how many? He said 3. Is that 3 I've bowled or 3 to go? That was after we had 8 ball overs, I should say.
Oh, yeah. You've been knocking around a while, haven't you there, Henry?
Yeah, that's a long time ago, 8 ball overs. Wow. Well, the Sapphires about to set off in pursuit of 129, 130 to win. Gabby Lewis from Ireland, veteran of their cricket. Right hand, a good record, will get even better with the Australian all-rounder Elise Villani filling in for Sana Mir as the skipper today, so extra responsibility, but a very, very talented player. Interesting that she's opened a lot in her early days, towards the end of the career. Well, she's still playing, having said that, she's still Hobart Hurricanes. This will be a good contest. Shirley O'Connell bowled rapid the other night. That's when they had to slip in, had to slip out, had to slip in, had to slip out, and the nick came. But she did bowl rather quickly.
Yeah, always exciting to see fast bowlers at the beginning here. Occasionally we have seen spinners opening in this tournament. It's always good to have the combination, isn't it? Change of pace.
I reckon if you've got Connell pace, you go pace. Get the new ball in the hands. There is a slip in place. And that is a repeat of the other night.
Just having a nibble at that, Villani.
I think that's more a munch. It goes hard at that one. But that extra bounce, that extra pace. Connell beat the bat repeatedly the other night. He's playing baseball, we should have struck out about 5.
Villani just not getting used to the pace here, not reading the bounce. And Connell using her height.
Yeah, look, it's hard to square cut someone like Connell when the ball's not wide enough. Rather than just run it down to third man with a much straighter bat. Just pick up your single, don't worry about trying to hit a 4 early on. That one ducks back off the seam and she does get some bat on it. Now the Sapphires are away.
Well, Connell's always going to bowl those disciplined lines and lengths, particularly with the new ball. She's known for taking the new ball. And that ball stump to stump quite often. Keeps it tight. Here is Gabby Lewis. Only 21 years old, Gabby Lewis. Plays for the Southern Brave, has played for the Southern Brave and the Southern Vipers. Also awarded a pro contract by Cricket Ireland in 2019, when those first contracts came out.
Good shot, no run.
Yeah, her dad, Alan Lewis, also played for Ireland in the 80s and the 90s. Did you ever play against Alan Lewis?
Well, Australia played Ireland a couple of times. 81 and 89 Ashes tours. It's in Belfast. Bowling, great stuff from Connell again. Terrific fast bowling. 1 for no wicket. Certainly hope they keep the slip in tonight.
Yeah, Connell wins that battle in that first over. Only 1 off it. Batter's always looking to dominate early on as well.
So it will be pace at both ends. Connell leading the attack. Bryce has got the ball. We saw a bowl some good in swing the other night.
Yeah, it was hooping in, wasn't it? She gets that late in swing, Catherine Bryce. Great control and a prominent seam.
Yeah, now the field, I've got to say, is not particularly set up for in swing, no. 3 on the line, those 4 deep mid wicket. Things in my way, so 5 on the off, 4 on the leg. Villani decides she will score the leg. Get 4. Well, so much for having a look at the bowler.
Well, they have their game plans, don't they? And maybe they've decided to target Catherine Bryce, not as experienced as Cannell. And that is well placed. Very positive foot movement there. Typical T20 shot. There's that in swing.
And that brings a change in the field as well. 5 legs inside the circle, deep backward square leg. So a bit more protection out in that direction. Oh, and that. You've got to miss that one. And look, I think that's the line Bryce has got to bowl. Don't bowl outside off stump, bowl at the stumps. Try to hit off, hit middle. And if the player wants to ramp you or sweep you, they take the chance. But don't give them any width.
Should always come out of your crease, of course, just to upset the swing of the bowler from the length. Keepers up. Catherine Bryce's sister's playing, of course, in this tournament as well. Sarah Bryce, we saw her earlier today, keeping wicket for the Spirit. Beating the outside edge there.
And as Izzy was mentioning, a bat out of your crease against that sort of bowling, but not when the keeper comes up. The good move from the skipper, Dushree Hassa. Got the lid on now, and she's up to those pegs. Good shot from Lewis, though. Really good shot.
Yeah, she knows it's swinging and she's playing it late. She's being patient. Helps it on its way past leg stump. See what variations Catherine Bryce has got. What's going to be the reply here?
That's why she bowls to a field. Nice and full. Make sure they dry. They don't give them another shot to play. Don't give them a ramp or that half pull that Gabby Lewis just played. Make it nice and full. Swing it in. Limit their options. Try to make them hit the ball down the ground. Like that. You defend much easier down the ground off that bowling. 2 gone, 10 for no wicket. Lily O'Connell will get the second over, quite rightly. Barney just squashes it into the ground.
It's good running. She knows where the gaps are. There's a little bit of tip and run there. Got to keep it rotating as batters out there in T20.
If I was facing Shamili O'Connell, I'll be tipping and running as well. I'll be getting it down the other end. That's the shot I was talking about last over. Just lay it down towards third gully. You'll get a single there. It's so tough to play the big shots against a bowler of this quality and this pace.
Yeah, just use the pace of the bowler. Let the bowler do the work. Keeping it tight here. Connell.
I reckon in T20 you should get some sort of credit for a play and miss, because Shamili O'Connell is leading that credit list at the moment.
Particularly against Villani, not moving her feet and very keen to cut it away. That bounce just growing on her. The better shot. I'll get a single for it. There's a sweeper out there. Only 2 fielders outside of the ring in this power play, of course.
Well, been let down is...
What's up?
Great Maz, our stats man, is not taking a record of plays and misses.
He will not get his Christmas bonus.
It's a vital stat because we just need the Connell plays and misses stat. Ah, well. Because here's another one.
Kept low this time, keeping a careful eye on the bounce. Bit slower from Connell. Of course, she's got all the variations, hasn't she, up her sleeve. Slower ball.
Trying to stay down a little. Fairly wide. I wonder what the record for plays and misses in T20 cricket is. Anyway, we won't find out because Maz doesn't know. It's 13 for no wicket off 3. Game 7, second of the double headers here on day 4 by International Cricket Stadium. The Warriors, they made 129 for 5, and I don't know if that's a good score or not. We're not going to find out till about the 19th over, I don't think. I think it'll be close tonight, but the scores in this game of 170s, 120s of 1, scores in the teens. Really hard to pick up a trend line.
Well, we're on a new pitch as well today, aren't we? So we've only had 2 scores on it. 147 was defended easily earlier on. Spirit versus the Falcons.
Billy Matthews starts around the wicket to release Falani. Over number 4, so inside the power play. Her 2 outfielders are genuine deep mid-wicket and a deep backward square. Oh, that's horrible appealing. Yes, and you know it.
It's a cheeky smile there from Hayley Mathis. You should know better, really. Very experienced player. Just a bit of theatre, I think, here. That was hitting the 5th stump.
Deep mid-wicket comes into play. I think that LBW appeal didn't fulfil any of the criteria of the LBW given out. None of them.
Even the new MCC law that's coming out the 1st of October.
What law we got? It had the 1856 law. That wasn't there.
Matthews just playing around with the crease, isn't she? Coming around, now she's coming over. Doesn't want those batsmen to settle.
Right there. That's it, Ish.
And the mid-off's right back on the edge of the circle. It's 23 metres, that circle. What's that in yards?
So it's 55 metres. What is it in yards?
No, the fielding circle, 23 metres.
Sorry, yeah. 30 yards.
We need to cover all units here because in the UK they haven't caught up with the rest of the world. They've still got feet, inches and yards, miles, stuff like that.
It's all in old money there in England. Yeah, so a dusty country.
Fortunately, the rest of the umpire have got on with civilization since then. Oh, well, there's a little bit of glove on that. Tough one for the keeper. Yeah, well, bit of arm maybe, leg by. 15 for no wicket off 4. Or Connell. I'm loving this tactic. Bowl your strike bowler. She's now going for 4 off 13 deliveries, beaten the bat umpteen times. She is as most likely to make a breakthrough as anybody. Have to hurry. Slightly risky. Now this is the great gamble you have, particularly in T20 cricket. You're bowling ostensibly your best bowler here, Sinead O'Connell. Always safe. So if the batters see her off, the firepower is diminished somewhat.
Exactly, that is the gamble. Maybe she'll be hold back for that over at the end.
Good call, Lewis. Well run. It would be a rarity to see an opening bowler bowl 4 in a row, bowl the top 4.
I'm just seeing what they've got to come on the bowling ranks. We've got Prabodani, of course, who bowls left arm medium. I haven't seen any of her yet. Catherine Bryce too.
That's tremendous bowling. What about the carry? You'd hear that thump into the gloves.
Raw pace. And it's a play and a miss yet again.
Gabby Lewis, normally strike rates around the 130. 24 T20 internationals, 130, but tonight it's a struggle against quality pace.
Yeah, just pinning them down here, Connell. Just 2 off the over so far. The Warriors were 25 for 1 at this stage.
Yeah, so a tight start for both teams. Just haven't really broken free against either attack. And a lead, that's another rarity in T20 cricket. The Sapphires are 17 for no wicket off their first 5.
Thanks, Henry and Izzy, changing commentary. They cut, and that's going to race away for 4. Lovely shot. Here with Mark Farmer, and I've got Georgie Heath with me. Lovely shot, that. Great way to start the over.
Yeah, you can see she's just doing what Villani does best, that touch. And yeah, she's racing along nicely here. She would out cheaply in their first game, so captain tonight wants to lead from the front.
Prabodani immediately see a change straight away, and she moves around the wicket. A little bit of a slower ball and trying to target the stumps a little bit more. Very quick to change her approach. There's a short fine leg, deep square leg, and deep mid wicket, so there's a bit of protection out on the leg side. And it looks like she just rolls her fingers over that and just trying to take the pace off, and almost looks like Gabby Lewis had a little shake of the head, a little bit frustrated. 6 off 19. Normally got a great strike rate, but seems to be struggling out there.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there. She seems really frustrated. She just can't pierce this infield during the power play here today. Lewis, yeah, 6 from 20.
Being pushed in, and sometimes that can be the challenge of the power play when there's only 2 fielders out. There's just this wall of fielders on the offside, and unless you are able to strike that ball hard or innovate a little bit and take a bit of a risk, you can get a little bit stuck. 18 dots there, only 3 balls that she's scored off, which really interesting to understand the conversation with batting partner. again. There we go. She's taken the risk. Last ball of the over. Lovely shot and breaks the shackles. Great shot, 4 runs, and hopefully that gets her going. The score, 26 without loss after the power play. Get a bit of vision of Kim Cotton, very experienced umpire from New Zealand, signalling the power play. 26 without loss, that 4 very useful after the 6 overs. Run rate required, creeping up to almost 7.5.
And it looks like Connell is taking the ball, so she will take her 4th over here. Fueled by hot chocolate, I learnt at breakfast.
Yeah, Gabby Lewis, she's not on strike at the moment, but she struggled in the last game as well. She had a strike rate of 64 in that innings, and is actually quite well known for a strike rate, striking over 130. Short, pulled away, 4 runs, easy as you like, and it's going to be interesting bowling through her 4 overs straight. We heard Jeff talk earlier that it's a bit of a risk-reward situation. Looks like she's deliberately tried to go short, but it's not got up. Great shot.
Yeah, and Elise Villani will eat those up all day long. She scored 111 not out for Tasmania in the final of the Women's National Cricket League in Australia. Hasn't played a T20 international for 3 years, but still looks fantastic out there.
Oh, back-to-back boundaries. Cut away, short again, short and wide. Gone. 4 more. Momentum shift.
Yeah, perhaps Connell a little bit tired here. But yeah, Elise Villani is more than up to the challenge of that. Back-to-back boundaries for her. The Sapphires picking up a bit here after Gabby Lewis' frustration with all those dot balls we were talking about earlier.
Just see a field change. Slip comes out. 3 field, 4 fielders now on the boundary. Big cover, 3rd man, fine leg and deep square leg. And expect it to be short again. It is. Down to fine leg. Stopped by Shenzhen Shazad from Hong Kong.
Yeah, see those 2 boundaries there from Villani. She's just opens herself up there, uses her feet well, and does what she does so well. That's why she's that 111 not out for Tasmania will remain in her memory for a long time, I'm sure. But yeah, Gabby Lewis, 10 from 22, looking to increase that.
And that's the way to do it from Lewis. Get off strike and let Villani do the heavy lifting. We saw in the earlier game that, you know, batters struggled, low strike rate, but there is the opportunity to come up, keep that strike rate going, partnership, and to get hopefully a bit more comfortable with the wicket and keep those wickets in hand, can do some damage. Played late and just the dot ball. Reminder of the bonus point target, 55 runs by the end of the 10th over. Currently 36 without loss, so a little bit of work to do. Score 36 without loss after 7.
The Fairbreak Effect NFT project has officially launched, breaking new ground in digital membership and collectibles.
Oh, right there, Shaz. Wait for it, yeah.
So you can head to fairbreakeffect.com or scan the QR code to stay up to date with NFT drops and chat with other fans live. Owners of the NFTs gain a membership that will have exclusive access to the players, competitions, giveaways and future events.
This one, yes.
A great opportunity to interact with the tournament and connect on a slightly different level. I wonder if they've scanned the QR code while they've been inside. Reverse. Go on, lovely shot. Clinical, and that's 4 runs. And that's superb from Villani as she progresses, keeps ticking along, and she's doing the heavy lifting as the experienced player for the Sapphires.
Yeah, leading from the front, the captain here. She predetermined that one. And she's currently strike rate of 140, so going along well here, Villani. 28 from 20, while Lewis at the other end, 12 from her 24. Hayley Matthews, not amused by that.
Villani, 7 dot balls there, and then lots of ones and those 5 fours. Oh, Gabby, not much footwork there in the inside edge, and it's going to race away. Hands on heads moment, and Hayley Matthews just can't believe it. 2 boundaries, it's costly. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, it's one of those moments when things are going your way, they're going your way, aren't they? You can see Villani just gets the inside edge there. It rolls away to the boundary for another 4 to the Sapphires captain.
Oh, short and slow, and Villani is sort of here a little groan as she wasn't able to quite crack onto it, and she's having a bit of a smile and a giggle about it now. Quicker one from Matthews, and Villani will take the strike for the next over. That's the end of the 8th over. Sapphires 46 without loss. Look at that. Inside edge, no footwork. I just can't believe it. Oh dear. Welcome back. The Sapphires 46 without loss after 8. Have a look at the worm. Well, those last couple of overs, it's beginning to catch up. No wickets, which is certainly sitting in their favour. Need 84 off 72. Turning into a big partnership, and we're nearing our bonus point phase.
Looks like Isha Ozo is coming on to bowl. She batted well earlier, so we'll be feeling confident.
This just shuffles across the crease, and I think she'll be glad they're well out of the power play now. The field spread, there's no mid-wicket, so there's an opportunity there just to keep rotating the strike, and if they can pick up a boundary around that, they'll be in business. But we see a field change just as I say that. Move one across from the offside, and they're going to bring in that mid-wicket and trying to squeeze Lewis. And they've almost done just that, but she's just managed to get it straight enough, rotating the strike, and that's a great job for her team.
Yeah, the local girl there, Isha Oza. As you can see, the captain, Sriharta, is behind the sticks today. It's been Georgia Redmayne up to that today, so she's got the central point to control her fielders. At this point, Warriors are 48 for 2.
Being easy for Villani, but that's a really interesting comparison. Very similar in the scores, except the Sapphires, all 10 wickets in the bank.
Bit of footwork there. Football on the cricket pitch there from the umpire.
Lovely sweep. Lovely diving effort. Oh, she managed to pull it in. I think she's claiming it. Hayley Matthews, it's a phenomenal effort. We've seen it throughout the tour. She's got a tournament, hands in the air. She doesn't know. Let's see what we can see. Let's unpick that.
Let's just have a look at that one. On the sweep there, Lewis. And Hayley Matthews putting her body on the line there. She gets it the first time and... oh, she was so close there, just not quite got that reach. She's at full stretch. She's a tall player, but you can see it's just hit the Toblerone there, and it's signalled 4 by the umpire.
Right there, Shaz.
Stuck into mid-wicket. I'm going to see if we can get another shot of that when she's reaching out. I think that could be cut up, remove the background, and look like she's flying. You could place it in all sorts of situations.
I'm sure there's someone out there who can put a cape on the back of that one.
Let's have a look. Wait for the reach there. Get the cape on her. Reverse. Oh, great job. Wow. That's 4. And Lewis beginning to find her feet, moving to 21 from 29. Got the bonus point, and it's 57 without loss after 9. Well, Gabby Lewis is doing a great job. She's battled through a tough period. Now 21 off 29, and today it's a 57-run partnership. They've banked the bonus point, so chalk that up. Now it's a matter of focusing on the target at the end.
Oh! Easy, Shaz.
A change of bowling. Habutani, we saw her earlier in the day change round. She was started over and went to round the wicket very quickly, but back to over the wicket. Perhaps out of the power play. All the boundary fielders are well in front of square. Lani moves across the crease. There's a chance of a run out now. You can see Villani shuffling across the crease, looking to try and access the leg side where there's 2 out on the boundary, no one in at mid-wicket, and acres of space.
Yes, if you just look at that, Warriors at this stage were 53 for 2, so there's very little in it other than those 2 wickets, but Sapphires have, yeah, bagged that bonus point.
And you just get a sense that the Sapphires batters here are getting in a little bit of a rhythm and feeling quite comfortable out there. And we've often seen throughout the games in this tournament is just as the batting team is beginning to get a bit of a momentum shift, the wicket falls. And there's no greater opportunity for a wicket as straight after drinks, which is coming up. a reminder that when we have the drinks break, the coach is able to get out there, have a chat to the players and reassess, talk about tactics and set the game up for the last 10. Great diving effort, and they're just going to get the one, and that's going to take us through to drinks and a commentary change. Sapphires 60 without loss after 10.
Welcome back to the SDG Fairbreak Invitational Match 7, Sapphires versus the Warriors. We're getting down to the business end. Target, you see, is 130. The Sapphires came out the chase. So far, it's been the Lewis Falani show. A lot of sweeping and reverse sweeping, but it's all been quality stuff. A little slow at one stage, but they've been patient. Those first over went for 11. The Sapphires have picked up their first point of the competition. They needed 55 to pick up the bonus point. They're away. Warriors still seeking theirs. Same stage. There's a 55 for 2. Sapphires down to 61, so there's not a lot in there. Oh, I thought that was mistimed.
Hello, Jeff. It was not mistimed at all. Beautifully played by Lewis, who was so slow getting off the mark and getting going, but well, she's found her rhythm there. Beautiful shot. She's played some great sweeps and reverse sweeps as she's got going, but she's just placed that perfectly. Too much for the diving fielder. They're just starting to get a motor on now. All the wickets still in hand. Power of Grace Harris still in the dugout, ready to come out. Not a bad position to be in.
Rather be the Sapphires than Warriors, but they've still got to get more than a run of ball, and that's actually yardstick so often. If I'm the Warriors, I'm not actually feeling like this game's gone quite yet.
Well, we've seen throughout this tournament, teams sometimes have really been able to get out of the gates quickly, but then the squeezes come on late with some good death bowling.
It's a half shout, maybe a quarter shout from Isha Oza. So the cricket just down the road from the stadium here for the Desert Cubs Cricket Academy. And there's a lot of desert around here. The flight with that one. Slight fumble, they don't get a run. 7 off, 67 for no wicket. No breakthroughs yet for the Warriors bowling, but Billy O'Connell, 1 for 16, doesn't quite wrap it up. O'Connell going for 4 and over. I should beat the bat another half a dozen times at least. Could have had 2, 3 or 4 for. This wasn't her night.
14 dot balls. Very impressive. Here's Falani taking on the captaincy role tonight for the Sapphires. Sanamir wasn't feeling well, so Falani stepping up into the role tonight. She's done a good job so far. She'd love to take it home.
Falani moves. Pravadani doesn't deliver. A couple of experienced campaigners here.
Pravadani, Australia certainly know to be beware of her. She caused them all sorts at the Wacker.
That one beats the infield. Does it beat the outfield? No.
Back up.
Not much gets past Hayley Matthews.
Well, one just got past. We saw a terrific diving effort from Hayley Matthews on the boundary. Full stretch. Wasn't sure if she'd managed to stop it or not. On that occasion she didn't. On this, absolutely did.
Just one, Isha.
Little off cutter. Pace off. Still doesn't change much for either right-hander. Long off. Extra cover long on. Deep mid-wicket. Off speed delivery will bring one of the boundary riders into play. They both chase hard. Captains and coaches like that.
Certainly do. Just talking about Pravadani, if people don't know that game at the Wacker in the 2020 T20 World Cup, she had Australia in a world of pain. A 2 for 8. Or 8 for 2, if you're from other parts of the world. We're Australian.
I was with you at 2 for 8. We score properly in Australia.
Yeah. And she had Healy for a duck and Gardner for 2. So Australia have learned to respect Pravadani.
Yes, you did. Go.
She's one of the only 2 Sri Lanka women who have 50 wickets in T20 internationals. The other one is Shashikala Sirawardena.
Bowled, good finished. The over from Pravadani. Veteran v veterans. Good stuff. 71 for none. Well, that's a very useful graph because it shows how both sides got away to reasonably slow starts. Warriors had some acceleration, the Sapphires were patient. Now they've accelerated just above the required rate, having lost no wickets. That's the bonus. As Bill mentioned, Grace Harris doesn't block it. He's next in. The old reverse, missed. Well taken too. They're a nightmare for keepers, those.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few reverse sweeps played very well, but Skipper is up to the task.
That might be off the glove. Good chase. Poon saves that one. They get 3, but Poon definitely saved one there. Once again, that's the stuff that captains and coaches and your teammates love. Chase hard, save what you can. That one run might make a difference at the end of tonight. Good, that's a great save, good technique. Oh, that's out. Not sure if that's bowled or hit wicket or what. Well, I'm appealing. We're going upstairs. I'll be honest with you, I've got no idea.
I have no idea either, but the players don't have any idea, so I feel like we're in good company at the moment.
This could be bowled, hit wicket, or not out. Fortunately, we've got a replay. I wonder what the Square League umpire thinks. Just be a fair delivery. Good there. Hopefully we'll find something out with this one. Let's go, we'll attempt to reverse. Oh, that's bowled. Keeper. No, I don't think it's bowled. Keeper definitely touches it here. Do the bails come? Are they definitely dislodged? That'll be not out. But I've seen a lot of cricket. I've never seen that before, ever. I've seen keepers knock bails off, but not when it looks like in fast motion. You could almost said that was bowled.
Oh, I'd almost like to see it from front on. Or here's another angle now. Yeah, definitely dislodged.
Happens after this. Okay, so the bails are dislodged. If they go back down on, that's okay.
And then does the ball hit the wicket as it goes through?
Yeah, that'll be not out because the bails are dislodged. Yeah. Well, we're just waiting for the third ump on this one, but going to be not out, I reckon.
Surely has to be not out.
About to find out here, anyway. What are you doing for dinner, Mel, by the way?
I've already had dinner, actually.
Okay.
Might have a bit of a communication problem. Perhaps. Or perhaps they're just not able to decide.
Well, they'll make a decision either way. The batters aren't going anywhere. The players might just vote on it. Okay, I think we're all happy, you know.
I definitely think
we're all happy.
Well, that was most unusual, to put it mildly, understatement of the night. And in the end, just a bit of a sheepish smile there.
Yeah, just that close-up they had, not the side on, the close-up where we see the bails just come up. We should just run that through. Anyway, the keeper's just nicked the bails off. Okay, we're all good. We're all good now. I'm just wondering, is this a dead ball or a no ball? Because if the keeper knocks the bails off, I think just heard Kim Cotton say it should be a no ball, yeah. Wow.
Wow. Well, I don't feel bad for either of us not knowing what was going on there.
I do know if the keeper knocks it off, it's a no ball, but now it's a free hit. Here we go. Well, fortunately we have the best statistician in the Middle East, and he's going to find out last time there was a no ball when the keeper knocked the gloves off in a T20.
One for the great Mazhar Arshad.
Bold. Hopefully he'll be back to us by the end of the tournament.
It's just broken out in a sweat. And it's not because of the heat here in Dubai.
Nice little arm ball this. The seam pointing away like an outswinger off the index finger. Well, look, it's a nice recovery and composure from Isha Oza. Okay, we don't know what happened. It could have been out, wasn't out. But it was a no ball, not her fault. Keeper's fault, but gee, she just, you know, these things happen. But she's come back with 1.1. And the 1 was off the free hit. Then she has no luck whatsoever. That'll be 4. Well, that is a fascinating over. An over that's gone in the Sapphires' favour. They have 81 for no wicket. Catherine Bryce has got the ball. And another thick edge flies for 4. That's 2 off 2 balls that have favoured the Sapphires.
Yeah, it's streaky, all right, but it will count the same on the scoreboard. We've just had an unusual over, but this here, nice little nick, goes all the way.
Yeah, you could argue it. The quality delivery deserved 4, but in the end it was an edge that got it there. There's Scotland to Ireland.
Just a bit of a test for the players here, just to settle down and reset after that long wait for that decision in the previous over. Very unusual. Saw Sriharsha sort of say that she didn't really know if she'd hit it.
Oh, Catherine Bryce might have to do her own fielding. To Priya quickly off the long on fence. All those guys, those 3 gave it out.
What a shot that is from Gabby Lewis. She may have struggled to get going earlier on, but that is an absolute stunner. Just rolled the fingers over it, but it was right in her arc. Beautiful timing. Well over the boundary rope there. She's motoring along now, Gabby Lewis.
Come back for the bowler. Lots of slow balls from Bryce at this stage. Not unusual in T20 cricket. This is the ball before.
Keep fighting, come on, Brycey.
Stayed low, but bat swing was up. 6. Great straight drive. There's 2 fielders down there. Isha Oza does brilliantly to stop that and keep it to a single. Sapphires, 94 for none. Well, the Sapphires have had some good fortune the last few overs, but the equation is still a run a ball. And the Warriors have to remind themselves of that. If they can bowl a few dots, have a couple of tightish overs, they'll put the pressure all the way back on the batters. Hayley Lewis. Matthews. That's spin. No, it did spin, it's just bias.
Well, she'll take it anyway. Gabby Lewis, I mean, she was going at a run rate of less than 50 early on. Really struggled. She's now going around about a run of balls, so she's done well to accelerate.
Got that in the gap, not off the middle of the bat. The veteran Dupria moving like a teenager.
Look at the determination on her face as she came around there. Seen some great fielding on the boundary tonight.
It's top edge, it's in the air, but it falls well short, in fact. I think of 2. Trying to be run out. They're on top of the game at the moment.
The run rate is just coming down now under a run of ball. That brings up the 100 partnership. 100 runs for the Sapphire. A couple of extras in there, but both of these players approaching their half centuries.
The Sapphires no wicket for 100, and that's the second 100 partnership of the tournament. Saw Susie Bates and Marietta Patu open up with a 133. It was a brilliant opening to the tournament. They don't need 133, the Sapphires. Single out to Yasmin Khan.
And they've sort of thought their way out of this as well. The way they turn to the reverse sweeps and the sweeping, it's working well for them, the Sapphires. They are 101 for none.
.29 needed from 30 balls, 101 run partnership, both players well set. In theory, they should walk this, but as we've seen throughout this competition, a couple of quick wickets when chasing, everything can change. Warriors were in a very similar situation 24 hours ago and still managed to lose the match. The difference here being that Lewis is in complete control. Both players on 49 now. Adam Collins picking up commentary with Isabel Duncan. Prabodhani finishing her 4th over. Starting the end of her 4th over, I should say. 2 out on the offside and the leg side. Lani reaching for it. Signalled a wide. They all help. They've been able to break the back of the chase. From here they can play conservatively.
Yeah, you just wonder if they're a little bit light on bowling here. The Warriors, they've only used 5 bowlers. Perhaps just not enough variation out there.
Been their problem through the tournament, hasn't it? In the first game, they made 177 for 2 and were beaten with 15 balls to spare by the Falcons. And in the second game they played yesterday,
yeah, and Connell's
153 chased down again about 2.5 out, but 2.5 overs early.
And Connell's been used up already as well, of course.
That's a half century. The acting captain, Elise Villani. 44 deliveries, 7 boundaries. And a shorthand so far. Still some work to do. But the veteran Australian, a steady hand in charge. Well-paced innings.
An edgy start to it with Connell, but she survived it.
A change of angle for Lewis, who's also nearing that milestone. And Prabodhani lands a Yorker. Half century for Lewis as well. Both openers getting to their milestone within 3 deliveries of each other. The Irish young gun gets here in 52 balls. 6 fours and a big 6 over deep backward square. Her reputation's enhanced month after month at the moment. She's having a great 2022. 5 bowlers used so far. Prabodhani complete her set here. Villani will retain the strike. Easy work. 24 needed from 24 balls. End of 16, 106 without loss the score for the Sapphires. Just the 5 bowlers used, and through the tournament that's been their problem. Bryce was expensive in the first 2 games. Haven't found wickets. Prabodhani hasn't taken a wicket in the competition. Isha Oz has been impressive, but again, not in the wickets column. Never been a matter of runs. Unlikely we'll see a 6 bowler used final stretch. Villani's half century, resourceful early on inside the power play. Always good off the back foot. Pull with authority in front of square. That's just class. Again, resourceful. Matthews and gets to raise the bat. The first time in the competition. And Matthews to start her final over. Has to get a wicket here to apply some pressure on the new batter. They get that far. Flat to start, but Villani equal to it. Just to reinforce that point, is it 1 wicket here and the game could change in ways that international cricket wouldn't. They'll get a look at Grace Harris, who hasn't batted yet in the competition. Carded at 4. Babette de Lead from the Netherlands, and Kim Garth at 5. So there might be an opening there. The line. Lewis into the gap. Gets another boundary. On their way to a 10-wicket victory. That's a super shot. takes their strike rate beyond 100. 7-4.
Yeah, just a release of pressure there for the Sapphires. So that run rate just drops a little bit. Required run rate anyway. That's a nice shot. Out the meat of the bat.
That wicket I'm talking about, it's all predicated on the idea of them getting a wicket right now. Can't wait.
Yes.
Bit of turn. Matthews loves fielding off her own bowling.
Well, they've already used up 2 of their seasoned bowlers, haven't they? In Shamilia Cannell, 0 for 16, and then Prabhadani as well, who's a campaigner out there, 0 for 21 off her 4.
And Bryce has been expensive through the tournament, 1 for 22 from 2. She'll have to bowl the death overs here. Reversing. Taking the single, taking on short third and getting through comfortably. Excellent running from Gabby Lewis, who took off before the ball was even bowled.
And they can afford to take risks, of course, if they so want to. The Sapphires with 10 wickets in hand, in a very comfortable position. Second 100 partnership of this tournament, the first being Atapatu and Bates in that opening match.
So watch for Lewis to open up room and try and pick that gap out between cover point and backward point. There's room there for her. Black. There's the miscue. But into the gap again. I'll tell you what, a miscue that goes all the way, or near enough. We'll get a second look. No, it has gone for 6. Signalled accordingly on the field. Crashing into the advertising. So the flat delivery out the front of the hand. Instead of going back to crunch it over point, a top edge over square leg from Gabby Lewis. Her second 6. Yep, into the Toblerone.
Well, they're big, chunky bats these days with huge edges. That can happen.
Frustration. 11 to go. Good to finish from Matthews. None for 29, her analysis on the night. 11 needed from the final 3 overs. Sapphires, 119 without loss. But here's Gabby Lewis, who at one stage was 12 off 25, was held up inside the power play, but once she got going, over the top of cover, sweeping against the spin of Isha Oza, reverse sweeping when there was an opportunity with fielders inside the circle, and that was class through cover. Gabby Lewis, 61 not out.
Yeah, likes to use the depth of her crease, uses it well.
Off 4 byes. Past the edge, past the gloves, into the rope. This is drifting away. The Warriors but moments away from being eliminated from this competition.
Just breezing it now, Sapphires. They were gift runs. Catherine Bryce trying to bowl the death overs. That's just missing everything there. 7 off 17 required now.
Into the gap. Great diving effort, but it all comes to naught there from Yasmin. Back-to-back boundaries. Milani struck 8 of them, and they're just 3 for the win from here. Picking that up off middle and off. Frustration for Bryce, who again has been expensive, the Scottish international. Kindly passing the strike back over to Gabby Lewis, who has the chance to complete the win here. Nice of her captain to do that. Gabby Lewis, I mentioned that she's had a fantastic time of it recently for Ireland. She was dominant in the series against Zimbabwe late last year. 3 half centuries on the trot. And a big 100 against Germany in the T20 International. All the fielders inside the circle now. Who to win? Takes one of those, scores level. Left of Isha Rosa.
It's going to be Australia and Ireland, and we're going to bring them home, the Sapphires.
And the winning runs for the captain. Elise Villani stepping into the job this evening and completing a clinical victory by 10 wickets with 13 balls to spare. They did everything right in a well-paced chase. Had to battle hard early in the power play, but once they got through that, it was smooth sailing. They get their first victory of the competition, and the Warriors have lost 3 from 3, which means they cannot make the semi-finals. That'll get their campaign going to Sapphires. They'll welcome back Sana Mir at some stage, but Elise Villani in charge. She called the change as well when in the field as the fielding captain. Walked out to open the batting and finishes on 62, the same score as Lewis from 51 and 57 balls respectively. A beautiful set of numbers.
Yeah, well, we go back to the bowling again, don't we, of the Warriors. It has to be said, they were a bit light this evening. Perhaps not a great bowling rotation, as Connell's overs were used up early. It's going to be Villani. Villani clinical today, hitting those winning runs. Not really put under pressure. Only in that power play were they put under pressure by Connell initially. A lot of playing and missing. They got through that, they survived it, and they brought it home.
As we said throughout the competition, a couple of quick wickets because of the way these teams are comprised with a mix of full member nations and associate nations. It could be a different story, but the breakthrough never came, and that meant the Sapphires could boss it, and boss it they did. Villani, 62 from 51, 9 boundaries, and up the other end, Gabby Lewis, 22-year-old, so 21-year-old, giving her an extra year there, goes from strength to strength, also 62 from 57 balls. A couple of sixes, a little bit lucky with the second one, but she was fantastic tonight. Looking at the bowling, fairly grim stuff there. Bryce, pricey as she has been in all 3 games. Connell bowled well, conceding just 16 runs, and Prabodani was economical as well, going at 5.25 runs and over, but with only 129 to defend, they needed a lot to go right. Very little did. So for the Warriors, Redmayne top scored with 33, albeit at a strike rate of 85. Kodali, 2 wickets in the space of 3 balls, with Redmayne and Dupria both bowled by the teenage American. That meant they were never going to get anywhere towards 140 or 150. Tash Farrant bowled well towards the death as well. And the Sapphires did everything they needed to do. They cruised to victory with 13 balls to spare. So we'll take a break. Fairbreak International 2022 here at Dubai International Sports Stadium, with the Sapphires victorious and the Warriors beaten for a 3rd time on the bounce. The presentation in just a moment.
Welcome back from the break. Let's go straight to Mel, ready for the post-match presentation.
Yes, thank you. Time now for the post-match celebration. Match number 6 of Fairbreak Invitational 2022 between Warriors and the Sapphires, live from Dubai. Well, the Warriors won the toss, decided to have a bat and set a target of 130 for victory. Sapphires got off to a bit of a slow start, but Elise Villani and Gabby Lewis, they just cruised up through those gears and they got there with 13 balls to spare. So I want to, of course, thank our sponsors for their continued support, SDG Impact Fund and GenCore. Now, first up, I'm going to get captain of the Warriors up, Sindhu Sriharsha. I'll get that right. Sins, you got the chance to bat first, and that was actually a really good innings first up. Just the wickets didn't come.
Correct. We've been just unlucky. I think we bowled really well, but just been unlucky in getting those wickets. But yeah, that's just part of the game.
You got to squeeze them. To be fair, Shamilia Connell was very unlucky, I thought, in there. She bowled well.
Yeah, she bowled extremely well, and 4 overs in a trot. It's, I think, in a T20 overs, I think that's extremely well bowled. Just like I said, we weren't able to get those wickets. The ball just kept missing the wickets, so I guess it's just part of the game.
Now, you were involved in an unusual incident. I just have to ask you about that. Did you know your gloves had tipped?
Yes, I did. And I did tell the umpires that I think I'm 100% sure that I'd hit the wicket. Yeah.
It just took a while to get to the decision, but of course, great honesty from you. Commiserations tonight, but good luck with the rest of the tournament. We'll see you back here very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, it is now time for the Player of the Match award, and the Player of the Match receives a smartwatch presented tonight by Colin Tennant, Anti-Corruption Unit for this tournament. Thank you, Colin. It was a pretty tough one, I can tell you, to decide this one, but the award goes to Gabby Lewis, who scored 62 of 57 balls. Well, Gabby, congratulations. I have to tell you, there was a lot of discussion going on between whether the watch was going to you or Elise Villani. So you've managed to nip it from her this time around. It was pretty close. In the end, you both top scored there. Tell us about your innings, because you got off to a slow start. What helped you get out of that?
Yeah, look, I really struggled early on, but I mean, having Elise bat with me was amazing. I think just like giving me that backing to keep sticking at my plans and don't try change to be like someone that I'm not, you know what I mean? To just keep playing to my strengths, and just having her with me out there was amazing.
And were you gaining confidence as you went through? Because some of the sweeping and reverse sweeping, it looked like that was just getting you into the groove.
Yeah, of course. Like, that is my game, and I guess just backing that, and even if it doesn't come off, just keep sticking at it. And yeah, look, I guess just having someone out there to kind of just give you a little shove is obviously great.
What's this experience been like for you?
Oh, brilliant. Obviously just getting to know a lot of the girls on the team, and obviously on other teams as well. It's amazing to get to play with people that you wouldn't usually play with. So it's been brilliant.
Well, it was brilliant watching you tonight. Congratulations on the award, and enjoy the win.
Thanks, Emil. Thank you.
Player of the match, Gabby Lewis. And I'm now going to get up someone who was very unlucky not to pick up the watch tonight, and that is Elise Villani. Captain of the Sapphires, a win on the board. Danny Wyatt did this, came in as a substitute captain. Everything went right, came away with the win. Maybe that's the key to this. You enjoy that?
At times I enjoyed it, at times I found it very stressful. Found out this morning that I was captaining, so when Sana's well enough, she's more than welcome to take the captaincy back.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what Danny Wyatt said. It makes you appreciate the captaincy more. But for yourself, we just were talking to Gabby then. She was struggling to get off the mark. How much sort of shepherding were you having to do there? How are you reading things out there?
Oh, I think Gabby is an extremely talented cricketer, and to be honest, I was just trying to keep her calm out there. Sometimes you can be hitting the ball really well and it's going to the field and you're just not scoring the runs that you'd like to, but it's just about staying calm in that moment, remembering what your strengths are. And the way that Gabby brought out her reverse sweep and her sweeps, even though it didn't come off in the first game, I was really proud of her for doing that and having the bravery to do that and seeing it come off and executed well tonight.
Were you always confident of chasing that down?
Oh, I think it was one of those totals where the partnership was really key. I think that sort of broke the chase for us. If we had lost a few wickets, you can get a little bit nervous on the sidelines, but I thought the partnership was key, and that's why I thought Gabby's innings was incredible, the way that she soldiered through that period and then came through and finished not out at the end.
Well, I think it's, also a nice tribute to your captaincy as well in there. So well done, Elise. You've done a great job with skipper's armband today. Win on the board. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Mel.
So winning captain Elise Villani for tonight, getting the job done. The Sapphires winning by 10 wickets, and that's all from the presentation.
And let's have a quick look at those league standings. After the Warriors face the Sapphires, finally the Sapphires getting 3 points on the board. Still Falcons are at number 1 with 9 points. And now that the Warriors have lost that one, they still have only 1 point on that league standing. Jeff, let's quickly chat about that opening pair, but starting off with Gabby Lewis. She got player of the match. She played such a fantastic innings. Your thoughts on how she played?
Well, it's nice to hear both the captain and Gabby herself talk it through, because we all said here, slow start, they're struggling a little bit, they're hitting the field a lot until that shot there, because Elise Villani had come down and spoken to her before that shot. Back your plans, do what you do well. She loves the sweep and the reverse sweep. And for the time I think Elise Villani spoke to her, the game actually changed, because the Warriors were well and truly in this. Even though the Sapphires hadn't lost a wicket, the Warriors were bowling okay. They didn't have much luck up front, did they? I mean, Shamilia Connell was brilliant, but she ends up with no wickets because she keeps beating the bat. Sometimes the games go like that. In the meantime, a veteran Australian player helps out the Irish player, and you look at the score, you win by 10 wickets, and people say, well, that was an easy win. But it wasn't all that easy. But it was terrific to see Gabby acknowledge what her batting partner had done. But also, I mean, she deserves a pat on the back, because once she got going, it was very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and talking about her batting partner, Elise Villani. It was the Elise Villani show. How brilliant was she as well?
Yeah, similar story though. She's the veteran. She's plays lots of international cricket. She's had a great year for the Hobart Hurricanes and for Tasmania in the WNCL in Australia. So can we expect it? Yeah, I mean, you often expect something of your international players. She missed the first game, of course. Extra pressure of the captaincy, but her timing was quite good the whole game. And you see, she plays the reverse sweeps as well. The good players play that well. And both those batters tonight reverse swept well. And even though Isha Oza, I thought, bowled reasonably well, when you can't defend both sides of the ground because of the reverse sweep and the sweep, it makes it pretty tough. So, yeah, it was great. The associate Lewis with the international Villani, it was a nice combination.
And just to wrap up, just to chat about the Warriors, they've won the toss. They elected to bat first, but it seems like it didn't work out for them.
Well, they were the first team to do that, and the 129 looked a little shy, didn't it? First use of the wicket, new wicket, but the wicket played very well. So maybe 150, nearly 160 was the right score. I think the top score for them was 35. So no partnerships. No one to take them all the way through. No one to get a 70 or an 80 and get to that score, and that's a big difference in this match.
And no partnerships, but hopefully in the next game that they play, there will be some much-needed partnerships between them. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate your contribution. It's always a pleasure having you in studio.
Lovely to be with you, Lisa.
And I hope that you guys at home have also enjoyed all the cricket that we've been bringing to you here at the SDG Fairbreak Invitational Tournament. Of course, let's have a look at what is coming up next, because we certainly do love ourselves some T20 cricket. Tomorrow, it is the Team Spirit, that is match number 8 against the Sapphires. And the last game for tomorrow, it is match number 9, and that is the Tornadoes versus Barmy Army. We will see you all tomorrow, sharp and ready for more T20 action.
And let's take a look at the teams.